Hello and welcome to the sixth round of the Ero Season 7 F5 Championship on this rainy day for the Spanish qualifying. So this could be interesting. Could see a few in the wall in this what looks like torrential rain here today. Might take a while for a few of the drivers to get out on track as they adapt their setups ready for this rain. There'll be panic, I'm sure, going through the drivers' minds. So I hear a car guy on track. See who it is. It's Roninosaurus, who has such a long name. His nickname's T-Rex. So we'll see what he can do on his first lap on the full wet tyres. So very, very wet indeed. A few drivers going out now. Both the Alfa Romeo, Swiss Stack and the Maverick also join. The Maverick going on the Inters. So yeah, that's an interesting choice. It does look like torrential rain, so yeah, he might be off soon. Just trying it out, I think. We'll see. Yeah, a few going out now. Who else is out there? Toya Style on the full wet tyres, and a Geodude also on the full wet tyres, as you can see. So interesting choice from the Maverick. We'll see if that pays off, or it's expected to maybe drop off in intensity in a few minutes. Who knows? We'll see what T-Rex can do, as he'll be the first to start a flying lap, with a few still coming out of the pits. Hopefully don't get in his way around this track. It might be tricky during the rain. We shall see. So here we go then. Out the final corner on this very, very wet track, as you see. Down the longest straight on the track. Certainly an overtaking point in the race. There's a few drivers coming up ahead of him. Hopefully they get out of his way. They sort of kind of do their best. It might have distracted him a little bit as he goes fairly tentatively through this first corner on the first flying lap. We'll stick with him as he heads set to 125.5. I have no idea if that's a good time or not. Yeah, who knows? We'll see as time goes on. So getting on the curb a little bit as he goes towards this hairpin. The next corner, I'd like to nickname the Narnia Corner, because if you get it wrong, it does send you through the wardrobe and into Narnia. We'll see if he managed to get it right this time. Yeah, took it quite tentatively, I think, which is a wise thing to do on the first lap. So another DRS zone in the race if it is indeed dry, but tricky to overtake there, to be honest, into this technical sector 3. Again, very easy to spin at Spain in the dry, so in the wet it must be very, very challenging for these drivers. Around to the final few corners now, coming into the last chicane, which can gain you a lot of time. It can also lose you a lot of time. Takes it fairly neatly. There is a spinner in sector 2, we'll come back to that in a little while, as T-Rex crosses the line and does a 131.2. No idea if that's good or not. Let's see who has gone. Toya Style appears to have lost it. Yeah, but he's in the middle of the track there and probably put Saitsi off as well. Hopefully keeps it out. Ooh, he's lost his front wing, but avoids DNFing like Toya Style. Oh, still in the middle of the track. It must be quite distracting for these drivers as Stevie just gets through it. And oh, Saitsi's got disqualified from the session by going the wrong way. That is wow. Well, I mean that's unfortunate. We saw him go off the track, and yeah, he must have spun around and just gone the wrong way a little while, and the game decides to disqualify him. Very, very unfortunate for him. As a Geodude goes fastest to 129.4. Significantly quicker than T-Rex. As I think we see Stevie finishing his first lap as he puts it quickest to 129.2. These two finished first and second last week, so yeah, they'll be fighting it out again, I'm sure, this week too. As Villeneuve puts it up into P3. Iconic helmet. of the Ayrton Senna tribute. If we can probably see it a little bit there, not very well. As he comes around this corner, you'll see the Senna colours. Yeah, I do like to see those types of helmets. There's yellow flags everywhere as people really struggle in these horrible conditions, it has to be said. As Aichi is on his outlap. It looked like he went wide, so he might have actually invalidated his following lap. We'll see if it stays red as he goes past this corner. Nope, so he looks to be okay, so we'll stick with him on this lap. As he enters turn 1. No one really ahead of him on track, so should get a clean lap in. As he runs on the curb a little bit. Quite wide on the exit, so you can see his throttle input's only a half throttle through this corner. It's normally flat out in the race. As he comes up to the end of sector 1 with a car probably chasing him down pretty quick. It's just a 25.3 for the first sector, and there's a car behind him catching up, I'd say, but he doesn't have to get out of the way. He's on a flying lap, so even if the guy behind him's quicker, it's no problem at all. Yellow flag again, as I think one of the Ferraris just gets out of the way. So we see Villeneuve go faster, I think, as he starts another lap with an AlphaTauri in front of him, which he won't like the sight of that one bit. So most cars out on track now. A few still in the pits. Obviously we've got 2 DNFs, well, 1 DNF, 1 disqualification who are in the pits. The other 2 in Verova, I think he's just joined late, and Boyman in the pits. I think he was out. He must have damaged his car or something. So Stevie and the Geodude pit. They'll be putting on fresh tyres and going out again. It doesn't look like it's got any better rain-wise. Villeneuve just on a cool-down lap, I think. Doesn't seem to be doing anything too special. Nestek, another quick driver. Had a bit of a difficulty last week in France in the sense that he smashed into a wall. It's not really the best race for him. He's got very, very quick pace in qualifying. He's not managed to convert it into the races much yet this season, as there's another yellow flag somewhere as someone gets out of Nestek's way. Nestek did finish P2 at the Brazilian Grand Prix and P5 at the Chinese round 2 and 3. His other races have been troubling, to say the least, as he tries to find some consistency. But if he manages to do that, he'll certainly be a very, very quick driver in the F5 division. We'll see what he can do then as he rounds the final corner. Will he improve on his time? Yeah, very slightly, a 1:30.8 still puts him P5 as yellow flags everywhere. So Aichi's probably just getting out of getting out of someone's way, maybe pitting this lap 2. So T-Rex starts his another lap, currently in P3. Good performance by him. Obviously put a lot of fuel in and hopes to capitalise on the practice he gets in the wet. Not sure if it's going to be a wet race. Not heard anything yet from the drivers, but they are, very busy driving in the wet, as you can see. So I'll update you as soon as I know the weather forecast for the race. So T-Rex still looks to be pushing. They'll probably finish this lap and then come in for a fresh set of tyres for the end of the session. There's a car going slowly in front of him. I said just getting out of his way, but it looks like Nestek has unfortunately spun. Yep, struggling. As T-Rex rounds the final corner. Can he improve? He's not far away from it. Yeah, or 130.0, which keeps him P3 but consolidates that position a little bit better as Geodude and Stevie again well out in front. Very impressive stuff. Stevie, of course, got pole in the first 4 races of the season. Only managed P3 at the last race in France. But it's looking like he wants to put that right, as T-Rex does have a little spin there. Yeah, he'll no doubt come into the pits for a fresh set of boots as Aichi loses it the first corner. Let's see if we can get on board with someone who's nearby. Not him. Sorry guys, missed that one. So Geodude invalidated this lap. Monosaurus probably on an in lap. Villeneuve on the inters, so the weather is improving and the times should start to tumble. As assuming he's put on the right tyres, of course, which I'm sure he has. We'll watch Villeneuve. The Ferraris are pretty quick, so leading the constructors by quite a distance, to be honest. Yeah, 127 points in the lead at the moment, and just 5 races gone. It's a very, very dominant display from the Ferrari boys. Very impressive stuff. There's another yellow flag at the final corners. Yeah, people are really struggling in these conditions. Villeneuve goes around the second most difficult corner on the track. Very easy to lose the back end and end up in that wall 2. Finishes sector 2 and is 5/10 up, so the rain is definitely decreasing. As you can see, the dry lines appearing. People are coming on the intermediate tyres and improving their times vastly as someone spins ahead of Villeneuve, but doesn't let that distract him too much. As Vinrals has got disqualified from the session as well for going the wrong way, and I think we just saw him. He wasn't really going backwards. He was, you know, he spun and he was trying to get back on the track. Yeah, these disqualifications seem pretty harsh to me, but what can you do? Can't fix it. Can't restart the game. We can't restart the lobby for disqualifications. So we carry on, and you know, next time don't spin, and you'll stay in the session, I think is the moral of the story. Tough school. As Villeneuve does improve, but only a 130.1, and only goes up to P4 as there's another yellow flag, but I think that's just a driver letting someone by. So we'll go on board with Stevie. Yeah, he's 8/10 up on these intermediate tyres, so definitely the tyres to be on. And we'll see him finish this lap as he comes through the final few sectors. How does he take this chicane? Yeah, cuts it quite nicely, not too aggressive in the wets as he rounds the final corner. And improves by 9/10, so 128.3. That is the time to beat. Very good stuff. Geodude in the pits. He'll no doubt come out soon on the intermediate tyres. They seem to be the ones to be on. This spot pitting despite being on an out lap. Probably, yeah, realises he's on the wrong tyres and needs to get on those inters. Shade Mabs still on the full wet tyres, not confident on going on the inters, or perhaps saving that for a bit later. There's a couple of drivers nicely getting out of his way as they come out of the pits, presumably on the fresh set of inters. It's got a little bit wide there onto the green stuff. Don't really want to be on that, especially in the wet. As he's 3/10 up on his time, he'll make a tough call whether he continues and improves or abandons, and oh dear. Yeah, you don't want to get disqualified for going the wrong way, mate, so I'd get out of there quick, but there is a car coming round, so be very, very careful. Yeah, there we go, he's away. Can he avoid disqualification? Well done, Shade Mabs. He's done what two of the drivers cannot do and recover from a spin. Just the look of the draw, it would seem, as Stevie runs out of fuel and pits again for probably another fresh set of inters. He's really gone for it then on them inters, as Villeneuve has put it up into P2, as there seems to be spins everywhere. I mean, there's just Shade Mabs going slowly, letting someone by, I think. I don't think it was perhaps a spin. There's just yellow flags everywhere, it's absolute chaos. So as you can see, the times are tumbling now. The Mavericks just set a time 1.5 seconds quicker than his previous on 1:30.7, goes to P9. I think, yeah, the times are certainly going to keep improving as the Geodude starts his flying lap. He's certainly the man to watch at the moment. We'll see what he can do. He needs to put a clean lap together. He's probably got another lap after this if he has fuel for it. AlphaTauri not really backing off too much, but yeah, giving him enough room. Here he goes then, in fairly full throttle throughout the corner. Crosses the Sector 1 timing line, 4/10 up, goes purple. So it is the quickest of everyone through Sector 1 so far. Here he comes then into this tricky hairpin. Nice and wide on the exit, using a bit of the curb. Comes to the Narnia Corner. Can he keep it out of the wardrobe this time? Let's hope so. Cuts the corner quite a lot. Very dangerous. Very, very close to that line and which. But here he goes. Oh, we can't see much because of the spray. Still very, very wet out there. As he comes through the Sector 2 timing line, 9/10 up and goes purple again. So he looks to be on course to beat Stevie's pole time if he can keep it together through this final sector. So here he goes into the last couple of corners. It's all about the chicane. How can he take this? Yeah, he just kisses that curb, kisses that one, runs a little bit wide. Doesn't go too wide to invalidate, and flat out round this final corner. What time can he do? So 1:27.8. That's absolute incredible time. The track must really, really be drying out here. As there's another yellow flag, I think, as someone goes slowly out the pits. They're not going to finish their lap, I don't think, or get one started. Yeah, so Villeneuve on his outlap, unless the timing's a little bit wrong here, I don't think he'll get round in time to set a time. So Stevie is probably the man to do this, although T-Rex is just starting a lap. Yeah, we'll watch this lap. Yeah, he's on the inters, so he should improve quite substantially. He's done a really good time actually on the full wets. But these times should tumble, and if we look at 1:30.0, let's see where that will put him at the end of this session. Probably quite far down the order if people can keep it together. Geodude gets out of the way nicely as T-Rex approaches Narnia. Safely avoided it there. There's a car in front of him. I think they're on a flying lap. They're not going to get out of the way. They're going to have to hope he doesn't catch them in time. Okay, they do get out of the way. Oh, we have a massive moment there from T-Rex. That could have messed up his chances quite substantially. We'll see what time he can do, and then we'll cut across to Stevie to see what he's doing after we finish this lap. As we see a car gracefully getting out of T-Rex's way. I don't think they held him up too much, but yeah, it's very tricky for the drivers in these conditions. What can he do? It doesn't look like he's going to beat the time. No, he's 1:29.5, so quite far down. Stevie, oh well, we've just approached that at the right time. I think pushing it a little bit too hard. He's gone straight into the wall. That reminded me of Monza last season. We cut to Stevie. Immediately 2 seconds later, he's in the wall and the intermediate tyres. Absolutely crazy stuff, as Nestec does put it P2, and that mistake has cost Stevie. I think he was on for pole position there, but still starts P3. Won't be too disappointed with that one. So I think everyone has finished or pitted, so that is the end of qualifying. That is the yeah, quite a dramatic end to qualifying actually. Stevie just bidding it into the wall, but well, very interesting. Clearly pushing as you've got to do in qualifying, and why not take that risk? Absolutely the right thing to do, I think, and to try and get it on pole. Still P3, so happy days. Elgard in the AlphaTauri put it up into P4. The AlphaTauri fans will be very, very pleased with that, seeing a bit of a comeback from winning the Constructors' Championship last season. Hopefully they get some more points on the board before the season is out. So there we are then. Geodude puts it on pole. Definitely deserved to win the race last week, but unfortunately got a penalty for an unsafe, well, incorrect pit entry. not really the way you want to lose a race, and not the way anyone wants to lose races, but unfortunately that happened. As Nestek P2, another great quality performance. Can he keep it together in the race? Stevie P3, AlphaTauri of Elgard in P4, and Villeneuve and T-Rex in 5 and 6. Further down the field, the time started to spread a little wider as the full wet runners didn't get a time on the inters, and then you have the disqualifications. Very, very unfortunate. And the DNF of Toy Style as Shade Mab's a track that he struggles on. By his own admission, in last place for the ones that set a time. So, the weather forecast for the race is dry. So, the drivers will have a free choice, all the drivers will have a free choice of tyres. With the tyre wear of qualifying not in the mix, they could probably stretch the soft mediums one stop. That's probably the quickest if there's no safety cars, of course. We'll see what they decide to do. The 2-stop soft, medium, soft, or soft, medium, medium is probably suggested by the game. But you can probably see some drivers go for the soft hard, and we might see some varying strategies today. Again, assuming there's no safety cars, which, as we've seen in qualifying, even though probably caused by the rain, there was a few spins, few instances in the space of a few laps. So I'm gonna make a prediction. There's probably going to be about 3 safety cars this race, but hopefully not, and we're hoping to get some good, clean racing throughout. As a Geodude takes them off on the formation lap, he'll be pleased to start from pole. It's his first pole, so congratulations to a Geodude for that. Nestek getting pole last week. Very good driver in qualifying, and Stevie getting the other 4 poles of the season so far. Stevie leading the championship, of course, by 1,000,000 points. 44 to be exact. His teammate 44 points behind him. Yeah, incredible stuff. Been on the podium every single race so far. Probably should have won in Austria, or at least moved P2, but made a few errors. And Villeneuve's massive brain won him the USA Grand Prix on strategy. So, Stevie the dominant force so far, but definitely a few drivers causing him problems. Nestek and a Geodude certainly come to the front here. And let's not forget his teammate and T-Rex in 5 and 6, and obviously Elgard clearly in the mix as well. So here we go then. Not very often you see a Haas on pole, but that's what we've got here. I think we'll see it a lot more this season with Geodude's pace. Certainly hope there's a challenge for the Ferraris, otherwise it could get quite boring to watch, and we certainly don't want that. We want an entertaining spectacle as they all line up on the grid. We might show. So as the last car joins the back of the grid, sight see that unfortunate disqualification, we get ready for the start of the Spanish Grand Prix. Five lights, and away they go. We see a reasonable start from a Geodude. Nestek's got really bogged down, and Stevie's on the outside of him. Certainly looks like he's got that position. He's not going to send up the inside of a Geodude, is he? No, decides not to. Maybe Elgard and Villeneuve going side by side through this corner. Oh, there's a little bit of contact there as Elgard goes into the wall, I think. Oh no, he's managed to keep it off the out of the wall, but he's on the grass there. As I don't think Villeneuve's got any damage. Oh dear, this is oh no, it's absolute carnage, absolute carnage. What on earth is going on here? This is incredible stuff. It reminded me of Spa that year. There was tremendous amounts of rain. I don't know what's going on. Well, Saitz is without a front wing out of all that, and incredibly, there's no DNFs. As people do drop down the order, Satboy's lost it at Narnia. The first starter to go into the wardrobe there, as that's very, very close to being an unsafe rejoin. He decides to stop. Whoa, my word! It's a good job he was ghosted there, as the two Red Bulls almost come together. So we'll go to the front then, as there's carnage behind. The Geodude leading the way as the Mercedes drops down the order. Has a spin, spin fest for the first lap. Oh dear me. The Geodude keeps the lead, and Stevie making that move, of course, on Nestek. So everyone is everywhere. Let's have a look at the position changes. All the drivers pitting who's presumably got damage as the Geodude rounds this corner. Beautiful camera angle that is. So let's take a moment to see what tyres people started on. We've gone for the softs for the top 5 at the moment. Soft shade Mabs, and then everyone else on the mediums, obviously after pitting for a few of those at the back. Spain, not the best place for overtakes. Well, I'm sure they'll have a go as Rhinoceros. Sorry, it's not even his right name. Can't even pronounce it. We'll stick to T-Rex. It's much easier. As he goes a little bit slowly there, and the Maverick's looking interested, certainly. He's not got quite the good chicane needed to get him on this lap. So there's a bit of a gap forming from Nestek to Villeneuve. Villeneuve having that contact with one of the AlphaTauris, not sure which one it was. But clearly that slowed him down a little bit. I don't think he's got damage, but yeah, it doesn't look like he has. It's just obviously a bit shaken after that instance, and a bit behind. I mean, look at the field spread already. You know, all those drivers at the back pitting. It looks like we're on lap 20. We're only on lap 3. As T-Rex getting to quite close to Villeneuve, as is Stevie to a Geodude as they go through the Narnia Corner. So Stevie's got DRS then. Will he try it this lap? I think he's too far back, certainly for this straight. Might try it on the main straight, or the pit straight I should say. He just needs to keep nice and close to sector 3, which he's not really managing to do at the moment. Keep it nice and clean through here, run a little bit wide, extra speed. He has caught up a little bit. Not using ERS though, so he's happy just to sit behind for now. As Stevie does set the fastest lap of the race so far. And not looking to overtake. I don't think he's not using any ERS at all. He's quite happy just to sit behind and bridge the gap to Nestek. As T-Rex all over the back of Villeneuve, but not managing to get the job done here. As the two AlphaTauris are battling, and Shade Mabs is side by side with Toya Style. As Saitzi has binned it. We'll stick with this for now as they go about 4 wide into the first corner. As there's a certain contact there, and the AlphaTauri of Toya Style spins as a result. And the safety car is deployed for that incident with Saitzi, who has lost it at the fast right-hander. So that is the first of the 3 safety cars I have predicted this race. Will anyone pit yet? Unlikely. 3 laps in, maybe this is one of the soft runners does it just to get the nail on 2-stop, go soft, medium, medium. But personally, I'll probably stay out here. Yeah, just too early to pit really. Maybe Shade Mabs goes pits early, goes on the hards and tries the 1-stop. we'll soon see. So an absolute chaotic start to the Spanish Grand Prix. I have no idea what happened at the start there. Huge incidents. The stewards will probably be busy this weekend, which is unfortunate for them. I'm sure they enjoy doing it though. Being as I'm one of them, I can tell you I do. As a Geodude pits, so he does pit, and Stevie takes the lead. Presumably a Geodude's going to go onto the mediums, and he can't get the mediums till the end of the race. But if there's another safety car, he'll pit again, and could work out quite well for the guy. Certainly a risk. He's dropped down significantly. He's now in P8 as Shane Mounts pits as well. Let's see if he does go to the hard tyre and go on for the one stop, as I perhaps suggested. He doesn't. He goes on the mediums, which is probably the better option, to be honest. And he pits for a new front wing as well, so obviously picked up some damage somewhere along the way. So we'll probably put him very close to the second to last, I think, by the looks of it now. I mean, if you Swiss stack, do your pit, it's on the mediums, probably not worth it, but yeah, just catch up with that pack. You're very far behind, I think, is the way to go. So Geodude obviously highest up with stopping on reasonably fresh tyres. Certainly got the pace on Elgard, Lee Webb, Maverick, and then by the time he catches to Villeneuve, T-Rex, Nestek may not catch that far as Stevie. Their tyres will have gone off and they'll have pitted anyway. So that'll probably be the battle, along with that Aichi on Boyerman, Vinrals, Sackboy, Toy Style. Aichi should definitely have the pace for the first few laps and be looking to get past them very quickly. So Stevie leading the way. He does like to warm his tyres. I've noticed that of him the past couple of seasons. Formation lap and safety cars. He is a massive fan of weaving side by side and getting them tyres as warm as possible, so he gets a really good safety car restart. It does come with excessive wear, of course, if you do it too much, but you know, he's an experienced driver. He's got it under control. We do hope to see no collisions and penalties under the safety cars. They are a pain to see and deal with, but the drivers are 6 races in now, so we shouldn't see any of those amateur mistakes this race, I don't think. I do hope the safety car's in this lap. There's a couple still to catch the train. They should catch it before the sector 2 line, and the safety car should be in, and we should get some racing underway very shortly. So there's a little bit of a traffic jam going on here. Nestek staying fairly far back and then accelerating forward. Shouldn't really see too much of that. Can cause carnage behind. So yeah, everyone recharged all the batteries, 100% ERS, ready for the safety car restart, which has to be this lap, surely. Here we go, safety car in this lap, and we get ready for the restart. So, can Nestek pounce on Stevie? We will soon find out. Stevie taking it fairly steady. Obviously the safety car does have to get in the pits before he can bolt. He's not going to bolt earlier than he has to. He certainly wants to get the best possible start to stop Nestek getting a good run on him. So Stevie's bolted and Nestek's got a really poor exit. So Sackboy's got a warning penalty for ignoring yellow flags. So Villeneuve looks to have a little bit of a run on T-Rex. A few movements further back. We'll stick with this one. Will Villeneuve dive down the inside? Seems a little bit too far back to try one of them manoeuvres. So we don't really see anyone making a move into the first corner. So Stevie's managed to pull a second gap out already, which is quite an impressive feat. As the person to watch here is a Geodude, and see if he can get past Lee Webb, who's struggling on the older tyres. The Geodude's going to absolutely send it down the inside of Narnia, which is a tough place to go, as Lee Webb does have a bit of a problem there. There's certainly contact. I don't know if it's DNF'd, I hope not. No, he's just spun off, and yeah, there was certainly contact going into that corner. It's a tough corner to overtake at, really. He might find himself in trouble there, but we'd have to see the onboards of both, as Lee Webb, for the second race in a row, gets unfortunately contacted, and yeah, to the back of the grid. But he can hope for another safety car and see what happens. They were side by side at a very tough corner. One of them did have to yield, otherwise that was always going to happen, really. So yeah, unfortunate that Lee Webb was on the wrong end of a collision again. So I thought Toy Style had pitted, but it seems not. He's actually just crashed on the last corner, which is interesting. He's lost his front wing. He's got a whole lap to go round. Oh my word, a whole lap to go round to get a new one. He's going to be plumb last in this race. Very unfortunate race for him again. As we see a Geodude not close enough to send it up the inside of Maverick in the Narnia corner, as he did with Lee Webb last lap. Obviously very keen to catch up with Stevie and Nestek, who are getting further and further away from him, and he can see them sailing off into the distance. So when DRS is enabled, the top 4 won't have it. Almost the top 5. The gap sort of spreads out a little bit. Now will a Geodude try it on Maverick here? It looks like he's certainly going to dive down the inside, as the Maverick goes very wide, and there's almost a huge accident, as they all manage to keep it together, as a Geodude does get by, and this could be absolute chaos. 3 wide into turn 1. We could see a huge accident here. A Geodude manages to Elgard gets quite a nice switch back on the Maverick here. Can he keep it together through sector 1 and send it up the inside into the... No, he decides better of it. Quite a wise move, I would say. The Maverick does go very wide, so can Elgard... Oh, he's going to dive it down the inside. Oh, he's pushed him a little bit wide, but the Maverick goes off onto the gravel. And yeah, so Elgard does get through somehow or another. So yeah, tense race, quite a lot going on. A lot of incidents. This Aichi is all over the back of Boyman. DRS wide open, as you can see there. Will he dive down the inside? Decides better of it. Instead waiting for a better opportunity. Should certainly have the run on him on fresher tyres going onto the main pit straight, as we can see he's really struggling ahead, that Haas. Yeah, I think he's certainly going to have him here fairly easily. Let's see what he can do. He's using that slipstream as Boyman tries to defend. A little bit of a strange movement as Aichi cuts right back across in front of him, and yeah, gets the move done, and he should be away on the fresher tyres now. Sackboy gets past Istfod having serious problems doing donuts. Supposed to do them at the end of the race, mate, not in the middle, but never mind. So Toya Style gone onto the hard tyres. It's caused a yellow flag, and driving fairly slowly is yeah, I mean, he's going to get lapped if he's not if he doesn't get a move on, so certainly won't want that. He'll be hanging out for a safety car. So Geodude has caught up to Villeneuve here. And is probably a wise move, actually, in hindsight, pitting for the mediums. Stevie probably trying to stretch it out to the one stop, especially with that safety car, will help, as the Geodude got a really nice slipstream on the back of Villeneuve. Will Villeneuve put up much of a fight? As we see a Geodude side by side in the braking zone. Nice clean move. Not really much of a fight from Villeneuve there, as he knows that he's on older tyres and you know, beginning to struggle, as Elgard also catches Villeneuve here and might send one up the inside at the end of sector 1. Decides not to. As we see the Maverick pit on the hard tyres. The Alpha tyres getting very close to Villeneuve, all over the back of him there. Decides not to overtake. Will he send it up the inside of Narnia? That would be very risky. We've seen what happens at this corner already. He decides to push Villeneuve. Yeah, certainly give him a little bit of a nudge there. Make sure he got through that corner well. Certainly managed to do it in one piece, as Villeneuve does get away a little bit from that excited AlphaTauri. So a Geodude getting through this pack very, very nicely indeed, and is now on the back of a dinosaur. So watch his bite when he tries to get by him. A bit of a lag there, but we'll do. A Geodude sets the fastest lap of the race so far, and is going to overtake the T-Rex very, very easily. Again, one tyre is not putting up much of a fight. Probably the sensible thing to do, as a Geodude has clearly got the pace here. As Elgard pits. Goes on to the hard tyres, so quite a lot of drivers enjoying the hard tyres today. It's not really my choice, as there's a slow Ferrari of Villeneuve. He's had a bit of a moment there, but managed to save it, it would seem. He's yeah, dropped a few positions, but is still on the track. He'll be very disappointed to have lost out there. Not quite sure what happened, as Aichi and T-Rex get very, very close to one another. And we see here, I mean, a Geodude catching the leaders at an alarming rate, as their tyres really, really do go off. And of course, the Geodude probably two-stopping, and the leader's not. So here comes Aichi on Monosaurus, goes round the outside. Is a little bit forced off the track there. He tries to hang it round the outside into this corner. He has to yield, because he's going into a wedge there that was never going to happen really. There, he'll be fuming there at being slightly pushed off the track, I would say. He'll be wanting to get this move done on the pit straight, as he doesn't need to, because the T-Rex pits. So if we look up front then, we've certainly got Stevie and Nestek almost certainly going for the one stop, probably the soft mediums. But yeah, a Geodude catching them at a pace, and yeah, he only really needs to keep going, and yeah, maybe stop at the end, go on the softs, and have a better tyre advantage at the end. So it could be a very interesting end to the race. You see the leaders catching the AlphaTauri of Toya Star, but they probably will pit here, so may not get lapped. But then the Geodude's not too far behind, so there's a... Oh no, the Maverick's gone. The Maverick has gone. He's well in that wall. Well, we're going to see another safety car. So that's safety car number 2 of 3 that we have predicted at the start of this race. And of course, the top... Oh, well, a Geodude's also pitted, so they're all going to be on the same tyres. Probably a wise move. You don't know if safety car's going to come out later on, so we're going to have a top 3 of Stevie, Nestek and a Geodude, as everyone in the world is going to pit here, and no one's really going to lose out, as Aichi goes on the hard tyres. I think that's a mistake. He should have gone on to the mediums. Finral's not sure if he has pitted previously. What tyres can he put on? He's going on to the hard tyres as well. Varova goes to the hard tyres. Sackboy serving a penalty and goes to the mediums. So yeah, a lot of people here probably going to go onto the medium tyres, as Villeneuve will overtake a lot of them. There we go. He'll be disappointed. I think he probably lost out there. He probably lost out to Vinrals, and One, two others, but he did drop back a bit. Safety car probably not coming out at the right moment. He pitted a lap earlier, but very unfortunate. Certainly come out at the right moment for Toy Style. He was about to get lapped, and can probably catch up the back of the queue now. He'll be very, very pleased. Can he afford to stop and change his tyres onto the mediums and then catch up? Maybe. Might see a long safety car period, but yeah, I think he decides to stay out and just catch up to the back of the pack as Stevie catches the safety car. So we've got another safety car. This is 2 of 3 that I predicted at the start of the race. I'm going to say, yeah, like 24 for the third one of the race, and then from there, hopefully, no others. I mean, hopefully no others from now, to be honest. It's much better to see them racing. There's some great battles on track today. For saying it's Spain, it's the the non-street circuit version of Monaco, as it's sometimes referred. But it is so difficult to overtake in Spain. Some of these drivers completely ignoring that. So a Geodude has pitted. What on earth? He must have got some damage. I mean, what is he doing? Yeah, I mean, he's damaged his front wing. How has he done that on a safety car lap? Well, that is absolutely devastating for a Geodude. He's gone from a really good position in this race to, well, second to last. Obviously, Toy Style being behind. Well, I mean, he can't have hit into the back of Stevie because there'd be penalties everywhere. But then equally, how can you... Well, I'm just confused. I mean, has anyone got any answers there in the comments? Feel free to shout up, but I have no idea how he could lose a front wing on a safety car lap without hitting another car. It was lagging all over the place, so maybe that's what's going on here. As he's pitted and he's gone on his old mediums, he's gone some 9-lap old mediums. So he'll have to pit again at the end of this lap to get on some... Oh, he's going all over the place, probably having connection problems. Very unfortunate for the guy. Yeah, I mean, he's on 9-lap old mediums, he's got to pit again, but the safety car's probably going to go in this lap, so... well, it's an absolute disaster for a Geodude. He's shown some really, really good pace. He'll be certainly hoping for that third safety car I predicted. Which can happen, so keep going, head down, get some tyres on when the next safety car comes out, and see how far up the order you can get. Good luck, as Nestek will be looking to keep consistent around here. He's done well so far this race, and stay on the back of Stevie and see if he can get a run on him this lap, as the safety car is in this lap. Stevie went quite early on the end of this chicane last time. I don't know whether he'll probably try a different tactic this time or go for the same approach. Oh, Stevie had a bit of a moment there. Can Nestek capitalise on it? He seems to be reasonably close, although Stevie is getting away now a little. Yeah, it's probably not close enough, as like Ichi's been left there as Rhinoceros. T-Rex may send it down the inside, decides not to. Sensible move. And Sackboy managed to get past Shade Mabs. They're side by side. Shade Mabs has to yield. Sackboy's gone a little bit wide, so can Shade Mabs hold it around the outside? Can he do the switch back on him and send it down the inside into sector 1? Sackboy defends the inside. Can Shade Mabs go around the outside? No, he can't. So Verova's looking interested after all that. He's watching this unfold ahead of him, and someone spins in the background. A Haas is out. A Haas is out. The Geodude has gone. He has lost the car. And his race goes from bad to worse. I don't think they'll deploy the safety car immediately after a previous one. Certainly hope not, but that is an absolute disaster for a Geodude. What a great shame. As Verova still all over the back of Shade Mabs. Does he? Oh, he does try and send it. He backs out of it. Shade Mabs getting very scared and goes off the track and tries to stay ahead as Verova yields a little bit, but certainly looks a little quicker than Shade Mabs ahead here, and will be very, very frustrated and want to get past. So the front two have left the whole field as As, yeah, T-Rex not close enough to Vinral's ahead. Should be on quicker tyres though. There's Isfod getting very close to Lee Webb indeed, and can probably see a move down the inside at turn 1. He backs out of it, decides not to go for it at that point. Has a bit of a moment and yeah, doesn't get the job done at all there. So driver's getting very close here as T-Rex sends it down the inside of Vinral's at an unorthodox place, but gets the job done. Vinral's won't like that one at all. It's a bit of a slap in the face to be overtaken there, as T-Rex goes through Narnia successfully, and Vinral's a little bit squirrely on the exit out of what can only be assumed is anger. You see all the cars get through nicely there, as Vinral's might be tempted to send one down the inside, decides not to. A sensible move. So there's a little bit of a train forming that Villeneuve's at the back of here, and he'll certainly be wanting to get past these drivers on the hard tyres in front while he's got that tyre advantage. Oh, so Villeneuve tries to go around the outside at the chicane. Yeah, interesting. Several people getting penalties there, as Elgaard all over the back of Vinral's, losing slipstream. Will he dive down the inside into turn 1? Will Vinral's go defensive? No action happening there, as Shade Map's too far back to send it on Sackboy, and yeah, no moves this lap. DRS enabled next lap, I believe, or this lap, don't know. Might see some moves next time round. As there's a yellow flag as Toy Style spins around again, having probably the worst race of his career, as doing a nice little 10-point turn to try and get racing again, and he'll be hoping for a safety car again to get him back into this race. So Stevie, oh, Nestex had a moment. He's had a massive moment there. Oh my word, he almost did a difference. Well, he managed to save it this time. Very, very well done to him. He'll be his heart will be beating there, I'm sure, as we cut just at the right time to the front. Oh, that was a close one, mate. Keep it together. So we see a train form in the front two. Certainly, yeah, much better than the other drivers behind at this moment. As Elgaard pretty close to Vinral's ahead. I mean, this is almost certainly job done here. Can Villeneuve also capitalise? Probably a little bit too far back, as T-Rex does get in front of Aichi ahead. As Elgaard easily passes Vinral's there. And Aichi will be looking to get back past the Williams of the Dinosaur as quickly as possible. But T-Rex, of course, on better tyres, and he'll be after those front two. He'll be hunting them down like they're little Triceratops or something. But we'll see if he can eat them. As Villeneuve very, very close to Vinral's indeed. He sent it down the inside at that corner, which tough corner to overtake at, well done, and yeah, easily passed in time for the corner of death. It's Vinral's all over the back of Villeneuve though. We'll stick with this one, as Vinral's will have DRS, ERS and the lot. Will he send it down the inside? He's getting overtaken all over the place. His head won't be with it. Decides not to. Very sensible. Villeneuve either broke too late or gave him a lot of space to avoid any sort of possibility of a collision. This looking like the closest battle on track at the moment, as Stevie does extend his lead, now 1.6 seconds ahead of Nestex, as he desperately tries to cling on. No real battles here apart from Shade Mabs on the back of Sackboy. Sackboy not had a very good exit here at all. The Shade Mabs will be looking to get by and make a clean move into turn 1. Breezes by on the straight, easily past at the braking zone, and away he goes. Have a quick look at penalties. Yeah, just 3 seconds for a few of the drivers, so nothing too much to shout about. Doing quite well actually, because penalties are pretty common here. Let's see the movers. So Stevie will obviously be happy. So will T-Rex, Aichi, and Vinral's made a great improvement compared to the quali. Obviously the 3 DNFs have helped that, but I'm still be pleased nonetheless. So we see Verova really trying hard to get past the Red Bull of Sackboy here. We'll see. This looks like it could be an interesting one. Can he take the chicane nicely and get a good exit onto the pit straight? Looks like he's kept with him as Lee Webb pits behind. Must have damage of some sort, or it's perhaps a tactical pit stop. Who knows? Lee Webb gets a penalty for speeding the pits. As Verova looks like he's going to send it on the inside of the Red Bull into turn 1. Decides better of it. Probably a little bit too far back this time. Waits for another opportunity. He won't get another opportunity because he's spun and he's reset to track, and that is 100% a penalty, my friend. So you can't do that, and he's decided to reset to track again. That's another penalty. So well done. You get too many more of them, mate, you'll get a race ban, but we'll see. As he tries to get back to the pits with no front wing, not cause a safety car, of course, because he's not DNF this time. Well, never mind. So Sackboy, relieved of the pressure from behind, can focus on Shade Mabs ahead. So successfully approaching Narnia, and well, that's not successfully approaching the next corner. Oh dear. Whoa. I've said it before, donuts are for the end of the race normally, not in the middle. Obviously has a bit of a spin there at what is a tricky corner. Be very disappointed as he drops out the points for now. So Villeneuve looking to get past an AlphaTauri as there's a very slow not Williams, is he Williams? It is Williams. It's had a bit of a spin, as I was saying. Villeneuve looking to get past an AlphaTauri. He does love the sight of that rear wing as Verova DNFs going into the pit lane. What can be said about that? Well, that's a funny one. Dear me, he'll be very, very disappointed indeed. What a shame. So Nestek has caught up a little bit, and Villeneuve has also caught Elgard as Shane Mabs get past Vinrals. Vinrals appears to have disconnected, so that wasn't really an overtake, he's just lost connection, unfortunately. Yeah, this happens sometimes. So here comes Villeneuve on the back of this AlphaTauri. We're having flashbacks to last season where he spent most of his time in front of an AlphaTauri, to be fair. But he's certainly used to battling that car. Ooh, he's thinking about it. Oh, decides to wait for a better day. He may get a warning there for cutting the corner, but he certainly had a bit of a look. So I think Verova commenting on the stream that asking if resetting the track isn't allowed. Just take this opportunity to remind drivers to read the rules, and you won't get unnecessary penalty points on your licence. Obviously, you reset the track twice, so he'll be getting 2 penalty points on his licence. I don't know how many he's got now. Actually, I might have a quick look while we wait for this battle to unfold with Villeneuve. So he gets a reasonable exit, probably not good enough to get the AlphaTauri in this lap. He is using OS though, so he thinks it may be possible. Is the AlphaTauri? No, he isn't, so he could well get past here. You can see the red lights flashing on both cars as they recharge their batteries. And Villeneuve's going around the outside, the AlphaTauri not really putting up much of a fight there. And Villeneuve gets by and will focus on the next battle ahead, which is Aichi. It's very close to the T-Rex, who isn't really making inroads onto the front two, and Nestek still staying that gap to Stevie. Is Stevie just coasting round, maintaining that gap and keeping his tyres together? Who knows? So see, Elgaard's managed to stick. Ooh, almost goes into the back of Villeneuve there. I was going to say it's maybe close enough for a move on the pit straight, but made a hash of that corner, so probably not close enough this time. But Aichi certainly close enough to T-Rex. If he gets a nice good exit here, as I don't think he's probably got the one he wanted. That will be a shame. Has he even got DRS? No. Yeah, he was really, really poor through that chicane, and yeah, didn't make the most of it. He was close. He's not anymore, and Villeneuve's now pretty close to Aichi himself, and he'll be looking to certainly get through this traffic and try and get P4, probably P3, and that will help him with a penalty of the T-Rex. If we have a quick look at the penalties, as Villeneuve is in a net P3, so he'll be pretty pleased. Can he catch Nestek? 8 laps to go. Yeah, maybe. We've gone past the lap that I designated it for a safety car. As we say that, there is a spin. Not a DNF though, so there won't be a safety car, and Sackboy gets along on his way. Not a great drive from Stevie. I mean, he's not really been challenged all race, as Villeneuve gets past Elgaard. Apologies for missing that one. No, it's defending against Elgaard. My mistake. As Elgaard tries to stick it around the inside here, as Villeneuve goes a little bit wide. Will Elgaard send it into this corner? This looks like disaster waiting to happen. They're both going side by side through the chicane. Elgaard maybe getting a bit of a switch back onto this onto the pit straight, and looks to have certainly a better run after that little battle going into the last corner. So this looks like an almost certain overtake here, but it's not using ERS. Villeneuve maybe defending. Does he go for the inside to defend? It doesn't. He'd rather have the outside line as they go side by side. As the AlphaTauri does get the move done, as Villeneuve probably tries the switch back and doesn't really get much happening. There is a car that's halfway across the track and trying to get out of the way, really. So fair enough. Not sure who that is. Lee Webb, I believe. No, it's not. I don't know who it is. Oh well. It's one of the cars that are there. Take your pick. It's a blue one. So Villeneuve wanted to get his revenge on the AlphaTauri, who've been battling all race. They'll be absolutely loving this fight, I'm sure. Because there's another spin, as Toy Star's probably going to get lapped as he pits now. As Nestek getting closer, as we can see here, to Stevie, so there could be a grandstand finish this race as Boyman gets past T-Rex. What's happened to T-Rex? Oh, it's T-Rex, the car that was... oh no, he was the car that went for a little spin. How did I miss that one? Sorry about that, guys. So, disaster for him. He'll have to pit again, go onto the softs and hope for the safety car. As Boyman very, very close to Vinrals, but Vinrals pits anyway, so there's no battle here. As Villeneuve's dropped back quite a lot to Elgaard. I'm not sure what's happened there, as Nestek now getting very close to Stevie. Stevie obviously struggling, or had a bit of a moment somewhere, as Nestek is really pushing now. And Stevie's got a lot less ERS as well, so Nestek looking like the favourite to win this race if he can get the job done on Stevie. So here we go then, into the final few corners. Can he get a good run out the chicane to try and get the job done on Stevie? He's 9/10 back, so it's probably not going to happen this lap. Save your battery a little bit more and go next lap, which I think is what he's doing, as Stevie also tries to save his battery and get out of the cut the slipstream a little bit. So Villeneuve dropped back a little bit, maybe struggling on the worn tyres by now, probably. Maybe wanting to catch up Elgaard and, like I say, get his revenge on that AlphaTauri and get back past him. Whether he'll have the tyres to do it, I'm not sure. Nestek all over the back of Stevie now. Stevie will be almost sweating under the pressure, I'm sure, as they approach Narnia. Will do they keep it together through here? Stevie gone very, very slowly. Nestek all over the back of him now. Will he get the job done into this next straight? It could happen. He's kept it together. Is he close enough? Not this time. Again though, he'll be wanting to keep it together through the final chicane and see if he can get a run on him onto the pit straight. He looks a little bit closer. Yeah, certainly this time could be the one. Get that ERS deployed. He's not pressing his battery. Oh, what's he doing? He's obviously biding his time, or thinks he can get the job done without it. He's only 3/10 behind. He's looking like he might make a move here. Maybe should have used the battery. He's quite content with staying behind Stevie here. And he's probably going to try it on the last lap, which is a very risky move, I have to say. If you can get the job done, which I think he could have done there, he probably should have, got past. But decides not to. Wants to stay behind. Got much more battery than Stevie, and Nestek will probably know that, having about 60%. So yeah, certainly this is the battle for the lead here. Could be an interesting end to this race. Nestek wanting to make up for the disaster in France last race. It was Stevie who had the disaster last season in France, but that's another story. As Nestek a little bit closer to Stevie again, but difficult to get the job done on that particular corner. As Stevie is approaching a back marker of, I believe it's T-Rex, maybe. May actually give Stevie DRS, which would be very unfortunate for Nestek, but again, is he biding his time? He's actually going for it this time. He's used a little bit of battery, maybe thought better of it. He's only 5/10 back. He's using his battery this time. He's going to go for it. I think we're going to see some action here. Will the back marker get in the way? I don't think so. So here we go then. Down the inside of Stevie, gets the job done well before the corner, and Nestek takes the lead of the Grand Prix, and Stevie be very disappointed to have lost the lead there, as he'll try and fight back now with less ERS, with a back marker in front who should get out of the way and not ignore blue flags. I will, yeah, we'd like to see him get out of the way and not be an idiot like he has been doing, but there we go, ignoring blue flags, 5-second penalty, 1 penalty point, very, very easy. Is he even racing? I think he's still connected. I mean, we don't like to see this. Back marker should just get out of the way, regardless of the ghosting. People shouldn't be going through ghosted cars. Stevie very close and normally quite strong through the chicane. Does he use any battery power, or does he want to save it for a few laps? It looks like he's saving it. Nestek tries to cut the toe. Well, Stevie is very, very close. Still not using battery. I think he'll probably stay behind this time and yeah, wait for another lap, as Nestek probably using a little bit of battery. 40% still got more than Stevie. So Villeneuve probably still on course for a P3 with penalties. Double podium for the Ferraris would be very nice for them. Shane Mav's doing probably better than he expected by his own admission. Like I say, doesn't like this track, but finds himself up in P6. Almost didn't race today actually. He was so disappointed with his pace, but decided to, and obviously turns out to be the right decision. Stevie very, very close indeed to Nestek. Would have been a dive. Decides better of it. I think he's just scaring Nestek into a mistake here, as Nestek's still not using more battery. You only really need to use it on the pit straight to defend. But Stevie does drop back a bit, but he's very, very good at the last chicane. Can he keep it together? Took quite a nice line there. Yeah, it's gaining. So he's 7/10 behind, probably a bit far back. He'll just yeah, I think it's a last lap job for Stevie. So he's got to do it next lap or not at all, or does he think of the championship and stay in second place? I don't think he will somehow. I think he'll go for it. I certainly hope he does. I want to see the battle. As Villeneuve is very close to Elgard. Does he send it down the inside? There's not really much need, as he's got the position anyway. But he did have that fight with him earlier, and he'll probably want revenge. And oh, Villeneuve goes wide. Keeps it roughly on the track and doesn't send it into a wall. So we're pleased with that. He'll certainly just be keeping behind now and trying to stay within 3 seconds of Aichi. Which he isn't at the moment, but yeah, he probably needs to get past Elgard to do that. There's been a yellow flag. Someone's gone. I think it's Vinrals. We'll see it soon. As Stevie gets very, very close to Nestek, as they're probably going to approach a car here that's... oh no. No, he's got going again, so he's not going to interfere with the battle. That's good. So Stevie, this is it. Get a good exit here, all the battery, drain it down the straight, but Nestek will as well, so, you know, it's not really going to be much difference there. Here we go then. Both using ERS. Stevie 5 tenths behind, trying to get that slipstream. 4 tenths, 3 tenths, 2 tenths. Will he send it down the inside? He's certainly in the zone 2, decides not to. Wow. Thinking about the championship, probably wise. Thought he might have sent it there, but maybe the wise move. He's got a bit of a run on him, though. We might try it down the inside of the Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton corner. Again, decides not to. He didn't quite have the pace, but he's all over the back of Nestek, and Nestek will be fighting for his life to try and get this win here after the disaster, like I say, last week. And there is a back marker that might get involved in Vinrals. Just get out the way, mate, and let these two fight. So Stevie's last chance really is at this point here, but Nestek actually might have DRS from Vinrals ahead, which would be very, very unfortunate for him. So Stevie, there's a back marker in the way. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Here he does get out of the way, and Stevie sends it. Stevie sends it down the inside. Oh, have they touched? No, they've kept it away from each other. Nestek very squirrely. I think that's probably the win for Nestek. Well done. But Stevie did try and scare Nestek into a mistake, but Nestek very, very well to avoid that, as Villeneuve gets a penalty, so that's definitely not P3 for him. He'll be very disappointed with that, certainly on the last lap. As Nestek rounds the final corner, and he's going to win his first race of the season, could be his first race in ERO. Congratulations to him, as Stevie does close and finishes P2. What a race that was, what a final lap, and Stevie almost managed it on that last lap, but not quite doing so, as Aichi will finish P3. The AlphaTauri P4, good performance for him and his team. Villeneuve rounds in P5, will probably be quite disappointed with that, and Shade Maps will be probably pleased with P6 after not expecting to do very well. The Haas at Boyman will finish P7, and then Istvod P8, Lee Webb probably P10 actually, because that was within 8 seconds of him. I think his penalty was for pit lane speeding, I think, so he's not going to get that removed, and everyone else has been lapped. So there we go then. Nestek manages to beat Stevie, who's been ever so dominant all race. I mean, still a good result for Stevie, to be fair. P2, very impressive stuff, but the McLaren team will be very pleased with Nestek. What a great redemption from last week, where he drove into the wall at pace. He celebrates on the podium. A nice touch as well with the Ukrainian flag in the background. So the final standings, Nestek also gets the fastest lap, so he gets a bonus point for that. Stevie P2, Aichi P3 to make up the podium. Elgard in P4, Villeneuve, the Portuguese driver, in P5. We'll be looking forward to next week, which is his home Grand Prix. Shademouse P6, Boyman P7, Istvod P8, Sackboy P9, Lee Webb rounding off the points in P10. Vinrals, Swistak, T-Rex and Toy Style all finishing a lap down after not having the best races for any of them. We're over DNFs after that very unfortunate accident where he just smashed into the pit lane. It's pretty funny really, but not for him obviously. We'll probably pick up 2 penalty points for resetting to track. Very silly of him. Read the rules next time, mate. A Geodude disaster race. Very unfortunate for him. He definitely had the pace to contend for the win today in P16. And the Maverick and CC also DNFing. I think that was quite a good race. Enjoyed it. well done, guys. Put on a good show. Let's see. Yeah, let's see what happens next week. I've been Jack Bailey, and yeah, thanks for joining us. See you next week. Goodbye.